Hello everybody and welcome back to the Detroit Tigers franchise. And we are going to be wrapping up Season 2 in this episode as we take on the Kansas City Royals. And we're going to waste no time as we're jumping in here. Matt Manning's on the mound, 10-9 on the year, 3.65 ERA with a 122 whip in 180 innings. So we'll see if we can get him to close out this year strong. So first up will be Alberto Mondesi. He has an 0-2 count, and he's going to send one to center field. Pretty well hit, but Reyes will be able to run back and make the catch, and that will be out number 1. So next up will be Kyle Isbell. He has a 2-1 count, and he's going to send a ball to left field, but Willie Castro will range back and make the play, and that's out number 2. Which will bring up Andrew Benintendi. He will be first pitch swinging here. Sends the ball deep to right field. This one has a chance. Harold Castro running back and jumping and could not make the play as that gets over the wall. That's an early 1-0 lead here for the Royals. As that brings up Teoscar Hernandez now 0-2 count, and he will swing over top of strike 3 and will get out of this inning. So moving on to the bottom of the first, Reyes will lead us off looking at a full count, and he will also strike out swinging over the top for out number 1. Next up, Jeimer Candelario batting in the 2-hole with the lefty on the mound. He sends a ball to right center, and that one's going to get down. The Tigers will have their first hit of the game with that single. That'll bring up Nelson Cruz, 2-2 count, and he also strikes out. That's out number 2. Which will bring up Willie Castro, 1-1 count, and he's going to hit a hard ball to the left side, but fielded by the third baseman, thrown on to second for the out to end the inning. Now moving on to the top of the second, Salvador Perez is up to bat, 0-2 count, and he will swing through strike 3. That's Manning's second of the day. Next up, Ryan O'Hearn. He is first pitch swinging here. Line drive to left center. That's trouble as that gets down and rolls all the way to the wall. Akil Baddoo will field it and throw it in, but O'Hearn will have himself a double. So that'll bring up DJ Stewart now, 1-0 count, and he hits the ball down the line, and that gets fair just past Miguel Cabrera. Harold Castro will field it, but the run will score with no throw, an early 2-0 lead for the Royals. So they'll bring up Kelvin Gutierrez now, 0-2 count, and he gets frozen by a high fastball. That's strike 3 and out number 2. So that'll bring up Jimmy Govern now, 1-2 count, and he will swing through strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So we move to the bottom of the third. Harold Castro will lead us off. He has a 1-0 count. He's going to send a ball, but that is going to be camped on underneath by a center fielder, and that will be out number 1. Next up is Sean Durant, who's having a pretty good year this year. He has a 1-2 count. He's going to send a ball to right field, and that one is just fair, as he thinks about going to second, but he's not the fastest guy, so he gets back, but we do have a single. Now, Victor Reyes up to bat, 1-1 count, a little line drive out to right field, and that will drop, but Sean Durant kind of hesitates there, so he is not able to get to third, but we do have 2 men on and only 1 out. As that'll bring up Jeimer Candelario again. He has a 1-2 count. He gets a cutter right down the middle, but he is just going to miss this one, as that is caught right at the warning track. The runners do not tag up. There's now 2 outs. As Nelson Cruz comes in to bat, he's still a big threat, still a big bat. See if he can get a hold of one here to get us on the board, but instead he will strike out again, and that will end the third. So we're moving on to the top of the 6th. Matt Manning has pitched very well since giving up those 2 early runs. He's facing off against Kyle Isbell to lead off the inning, and he's going to get him to ground out to second as Montez makes the play and throws it on to first. Next up, Andrew Benintendi, who's now 1 for 2 on the day. He's looking at a 2-0 count, hard ground ball to the first baseman, Miguel Cabrera, who fields it and steps on first for the second out. That'll bring up Teoscar Hernandez now, 1-0 count, and he is going to launch one to left. That one's a no-doubter, and the Royals will take a 3-0 lead. So we still need to get an out here. Salvador Perez comes up to bat. He has a 1-1 count, and he's going to send a ground ball to Willie Castro, who's charging, makes the play, throws on to first, and ends the 6th inning. Move on to the bottom of the 7th as time's running out. Bob Montez leading us off. He's going to send a ball to center field, and that will drop in there as we get the leadoff man on with a single, which will bring up Akil Baddoo, 2-2 count, and he's behind the fastball for strike number 3 and out number 1. That'll bring up Harold Castro again. He sends a line drive to center field. This one's a little too hard hit, and that will be caught by the center fielder, and out number 2. So that'll bring up Sean Durant. He sends a line drive through the right side of the infield and into the right field. That will put 2 men on as a runner stop at first and second. But we have a little life here as Victor Reyes stands in 0-2 count. Fastball up the middle, and he sends it right back where it came from into center field. Montez is going to come around and score from second with ease. We are now within 2. It's 3-1. That'll bring up Candelario with some chance to do more damage, and he will strike out to end the inning. As we move on to the bottom of the ninth, our last chance here, Bob Montez leading us off again. Another ball to center field, but this one hangs up there too much, and that is caught for out number 1. Next up will be Akil Baddoo, 0-1 count. He sends a little chopper in front of the home plate. That stays fair, and he is gunned out at first for out number 2. Next up, Harold Castro. He's our last chance here, 1-0 count, and he is going to pop out to the catcher. That's ball game, 3-1 Royals, as they take the first game of the series. So Matt Manning still had a pretty good start. He had a quality start, going 6 innings with only 3 earned runs. And look at that, Sean Durant went 3 for 3, no RBIs, no run scores, and that's just how our night went. And so, as you can see here, we ended up dropping game 2, 3-5. So this game is very important. We do not want to get swept to end the year. Zach Greinke is going to take the mound to try to stave off a sweep. So going into this game, I also decided this is going to be a youth game. I know, like I said, Zach Greinke is going to get the start, but he's only going to act as an opener, so he'll pitch 2 to 3 innings. And then I'm going to bring in Casey Mize, who's been in our bullpen since the trade deadline, and he'll pitch from there. But I am also bringing in a bunch of youth positions that they're going to play this game. So we're going to look at the numbers here on Zach Greinke. 11-12 on the year, 3.97 ERA with a 1.18 WHIP in 186 innings. So he's facing his Kyle Isbell here to start the game. He has a 2-1 count. He's going to send a ball to left field. Akil Baddoo will track it and camp underneath of it for out number 1. Well, next up will be Guzman here. He has a 2-2 count, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Nunez at first, who will field it and step on first for out number 2. So that'll bring up Andrew Benintendi, who hit a home run in the first game. First pitch swinging just over the glove of Greinke, but Willie Castro makes a great play as he gets the out. So on to the second after a quiet home half of the first by the Tigers. Teoscar Hernandez leads it off. He is at a 1-2 count, and he will watch strike 3 for out number 1. That'll bring up Salvador Perez, 0-1 count, and he's going to send a ball way up there in the air, but that will be easily camped underneath by Deathridge, and that will be out number 2. So that'll bring up Ryan O'Hearn. He's looking at a 0-2 count, but he goes down and gets one, and that one is gone to right field. The Royals are going to take an early 1-0 lead. As that brings up DJ Stewart now, who also has a 0-2 count, but he will strike out as he swings through strike 3. And that'll take us to the top of the third. Bryant Packard leading us off. He takes the ball the other way as that finds some grass, and we will lead off the third with a single. So next up, Akil Baddoo. He's going to lay down a sacrifice, and that was right in front of Perez, but the runner will advance to second, and Akil Baddoo comes up and does his job, puts a runner in scoring position. So now can we score the run after that sacrifice? Willie Castro comes up, line drive, but right at the first baseman, and that will be out number 2. As now we need a base hit to score the run. Jeimer Candelario, hard hit ball up the middle, and that gets through by the second baseman. And Packard will score without a throw, and the Tigers tie the ball game up at 1-1 with that RBI single by Candelario. As that brings up Gonzalez now, first pitch swinging, he gets a bit too underneath of that as their center fielder will range over and make the catch to end the third. So on to the top of the fourth. Casey Mize is in the pitch now, and this is pretty much his game from here on, so see what he does as he gets Guzman to ground out here on a 3-1 count to open the fourth with a ground out. Next up, Andrew Benintendi, first pitch swinging, hard hit ball to second, but snagged by Montez, and he will throw on to first for the second out. And that'll bring up Tiesco Hernandez now, 0-1 count. And he also sends a ball on the ground. Willie Castro fields it, throws on to first, and that will be the end of the top of the fourth. On to the bottom of the fifth, as this is a good inning to show as our three young outfielders come up to bat. Starting with Brock Deathridge, he has a 2-1 count, line drive, but right at the shortstop, and that will be out number 1. And now Bryant Packard up, he hits a perfect swing on a ball. That will be to center field, but that one just dies as him. It doesn't even make the warning track, and that is out number 2. That's not really a perfect swing to me here. But Akil Baddoo will stand in now, 2-0 count, and he will not have to sacrifice this time as he hits a no-doubter to right field. That will put the Tigers up 2-1, Baddoo's 4th of the year, 400 feet to right field. So that'll bring up Candelario now, still nobody out, and in the 6th inning, he's leading off the 6th inning as we move ahead. He singles out to left field. Next up, Gonzalez, 2-2 count. That gets to the right side of the infield this time. 2 men on, nobody out. That'll bring up Nunez as they bring in a new pitcher. 1-2 count, and he will chase strike 3 for out number 1. Next up, Bob Montez, first pitch swinging, fly ball to left field, and that one gets down. The runners had to hold because that was a close play, but we do have bases loaded, only 1 out. Next up, Durant. Can we score some runs here? But he's going to swing over the top of strike 3 for out number 2. Brock Deathridge, 1-1 count. He's going to send a ball to center field, and they are going to escape without allowing any runs with bases loaded, and that's just disappointing. But we move on to the bottom of the 7th now. Baddoo up to bat again. 3-1 count, and he is going to watch ball 4 as he takes his base. Now, Willie Castro up again. First pitch swinging, another fly out to center field, and that will be out number 2. So, Jeimer Candelario stands in now. 1-1 count. Line drive over the first baseman's mitt, and the right fielder misplays it. Baddoo has plenty of speed, so we're going to send him home, and the throw is offline, so he will easily make it, scoring from first, and the Tigers will take a 3-1 lead on that double by Candelario. As that brings up Yariel Gonzalez here, and he sends a ball deep to center field. Center fielder racing back, and that is over his head and bounces over the wall. That will be an RBI double, as you see here on this replay, that ball is just over the fielder's mitt, but we'll take the run as Nunez stands in and face another new pitcher, but he will get him to bounce out to second to end this inning, but the Tigers take a 3-run lead. So on to the top of the 8th, as Mize has pitched very well coming out of the bullpen, and here he is against Salvador Perez, 2-2 count, deep ball to left field, but that's not deep enough as Baddoo races back to make the catch. Next up will be Ryan O'Hearn. He's looking at a full count for this at-bat, and he hits a line drive to left field, but Baddoo hardly has to move as he makes a catch for out number 2. So that'll bring up DJ Stewart now. He's looking at a 0-1 count, and he's going to hit a hard hit ball to right field. That will beat the shift, that's how hard that is hit, and he will get a single to keep the inning alive. As that brings up Jimmy Govern now, and he hits a ball deep to left field. This one gets out in a hurry. The Royals get within 1. It is now 4-3 as Hanser Alberto comes up to bat, and he's first pitch swinging here. Line drive to center field, but not deep enough as Brock Deathridge makes the catch to end that inning. As we move on to the top of the 9th, Michael Aoki comes in for the save opportunity. He will have to face the top of the lineup as Kyle Isbell sends a chopper just behind the mound. Aoki makes the athletic play to get out number 1. And we're going to look at the league leaders in saves for the AL here. And Aoki is sitting at 3rd. He's going for his 49th of the year, which is really good. Now, Guzman comes up to bat, first pitch swinging, hard hit ball to second base, easily fielded by Montez, flipped on to first for out number 2. That'll bring up Andrew Benintendi now, 1-1 count, hard hit ball through the left side of the infield. That will get on for the single to keep the inning alive, and the tying run will come up to bat as they pinch hit for Benintendi. Mondesi steals the second base, but Teoscar Hernandez here will ground out to third, and the Tigers will win the last game of the year 4-3 and avoid the sweep as well. So we're looking at the final stats here of this game. Baddoo gets player of the game, technically 1-for-1 with the home run. He had a sacrifice and a walk. And Mize actually pitched very well. 5 innings out of the bullpen, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. Candelario went 3-for-4, and Gonzalez went 2-for-4 in the winning effort. So that is going to wrap up this season, as we won 4 games and we lost 4 games. So just another typical month for us. Obviously, only a week and a half of games, but this is just how it is. We're right around 500 every month. Sometimes we're a little bit above. Most of the times we're a little bit below. As we ended the year 77-85, that puts us at 3rd place in the AL Central, and it gives us about we're looking anywhere between the 9th and 11th pick in next year's draft. So that is going to wrap up this season and this episode. In the next episode, we are going to go over the season recap, look at some of our player stats, and then we're going to head into the offseason. We have a big offseason ahead. There's going to be a lot of these guys: Nelson Cruz, Zach Greinke, De Sclafani, who we signed. I don't think any of them are going to come back. So we're going to have to add, more pieces than we did in the last offseason. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys liked it. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we will catch you next time here on Cardboard Cutouts.